Another reason why I can speak on women being older and lonely and why they shouldn't get any type of special treatment or you should feel sorry for them is because I was raised around a lot of aunties and my mama. Like it was a lot of feminine energy around me, just in all honesty. My mom was 20. She was dealing with my brother's dad. My brother's dad was basically a thug. He was a thug. He was a rapper. He was a drug dealer. He was that whole image. And after she left him, after they broke up, she started talking to she talked to a couple dudes, but it was nothing serious. Around the time she got around 25, 26, that's when she started talking to James Vance. Now, from 26 all the way to like 32, somewhere in that age range, 30, 32, she started talking to another dude. And this dude was basically a nobody. He was a lame. And this is the guy who basically jumped on me. When me and my mama had a fight, this is the guy that attacked me when I was a little kid. Then from there, it was my other brother's dad. They only talked for about a year or so, maybe 2 years. But then after that, was nobody for a while. And then it came around with Joe. Now Joe was basically my little brother's stepdad. And then the whole Joe situation didn't play out the way that she thought it was. I mean, she ended up marrying him, but you could tell that it was more so like she didn't treat Joe the way she treated James Vance. That's what I'll say. Because I don't want to speak bad about Joe, you know. But she basically Joe was the stepfather that came around, and no matter what he done, it was gonna never be enough. And he's an older man. It's like he don't got time to be trying to. So you kind of get it from both sides. Plus, he had a kid too. But what I'm trying to say is, every level of my mom, it started off with her being with the playboys, and then she went to the dude that had some sense that can lead her, and then from there, nobody else who was on that caliber came around no more. And then it was the guys who she can probably push around. Matter of fact, one guy, the guy who I was talking about towards the intern of her 30s, this guy, when they were in high school, he always had a crush on her. So he was like her high school crush that she never gave a chance. But she gave him a chance by the time they got 30. And I believe Joe was the other guy that was, you know, when I was a little boy, my mama had me by my dad, and then Joe was the guy who was just always around like the best friend. So by the time she got, around 40 or something, then she gave Joe a chance. Now, what I'm trying to say is this. Not only my mom, I just gave my mama. I only reason I give my mama stuff is because I sat there, I seen it all. Like I seen every level of my mom. I seen when my mama was 18. Well, I seen when my mama was like 19 going into 20. When I had to be at my grandma's house because she was at college, I seen it all. So I see it firsthand. And the reason why that is so important is because every woman that you look at, their timelines be the same way. When they're young, they give their best to the fuck boys. That's what they want to call them. Fuck boys or playboys. Then they might try to find a guy that got some sense in his head, but then they realize they can't listen because they already kind of messed themselves up. And then by the time they get 30, it's like, let me give those other guys a chance. Maybe I can push them around and I enjoy being the one that runs everything. They don't like that either. So then you see a point where it's like they get bitter and then act like they're not bitter. I have aunties the same way. My aunties was younger. One of my aunties, she was like I would say around 18, 19 too. She had her first baby daddy was a dude that was like 12 years older than her. So she was dealing with grown men while she was in high school. And even her, she had a chance when she got married. She got married to a guy that made six figures around the time she was around 30 something. But even before that, she married guys that made good money, but she couldn't stick to them. Once you raise that body count, when you have sex a lot, this auntie I'm talking about, when you have sex a lot, you can't bond to a man. You can't. It's not gonna work. It's only a matter of time. I have another auntie, and she basically had good guys all across the board, but I don't think no guy was ever enough for her. She always felt like she can do better. So this auntie, she's pretty attractive. When she would leave one guy, she would leave one guy to a better guy. Then she would leave this guy to a better guy. So each guy that she would deal with always had like was like a step up, a step up, a step up. And then towards the end, it was like, I guess that's the end of it. Then after that, then you kind of see them just be in their older ages. They either be cat ladies or dog ladies. Now it's unfortunate, and I know if my people was to hear this, they'd be like, "Oh, he's bashing us." But no, the reason why I bring these stories up is because people can learn something from these stories. Men can and women can. And the reason why I decide to bring them up is because if you leave it to them, they'll never warn their daughters and things. My aunties and my mama, that whole generation, they never warned the kids before. They never warned their nieces and daughters. They basically co-sign their bad behavior. And then I'm saying girls get older and they have been dealing with drug dealers and dudes that's in and out of jail. And then they try to say what a good man is. I literally seen my cousin take care of a dude who was a prison, who was like basically a jail dude. She took care of him. And it was a dude that came along to try to take care of her, and she would not get that dude the time of day. It was a guy that came along. This guy had a nice job. He had his money together, everything together. And when you would hear her talk about this guy, the reason why she didn't want the guy, she would say she think that he's gay. But how is he gay when he's attracted to you? He's trying to get your attention, but you're not giving him the time of day. But you think he's gay. The guy who's in and out of jail is more likely to be gay because he's in there with a bunch of men, and they're have high testosterone, so they probably fucking each other. So you get what I'm saying? This is the way that their minds work, though. So the point I'm trying to make is this: my aunties and my mom and them, they never warned my cousin and them to be better. Like, don't be like us. Don't make the same mistakes we made. They don't do that. They tell him, yeah, you doing good. That's right. That's right. Treat that man that way. Do this man that way. And then when they get older in their 30s, now my cousins, the male cousins who got kids, who got boys and girls, they're then letting those same old girls come down the same old road. Sexy Red, Glorilla. The little girls know the songs word for word. And it don't help that the little girl mama don't got a mama no more because her mama passed away. But they don't sit back and tell these little girls, baby, we were wrong. This how you supposed to move to change something. They know, they tell them keep doing this shit. And it keeps getting worse and worse. But then when somebody like me step up and say something, you're the bad guy. You're saying wrong shit. You're not saying the right shit. You're evil.